So, have you guys seen this Pink Widow thing? This is something which I started watching a couple of years ago. They don't really do a whole lot on it now, but this is a car that's always really stood out to me. They started off with a budget of $5,000, $350 car, and they were trying to get it up to 10 seconds. And I thought, you know what? Let's try to replicate something like that. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a very basic car. So we're going to go with this 1987. Is there a convertible version here? Maybe not. But I know that the car that they had was a T-top. That's why I was trying to look for that. So it's still a very basic car that we're going to start off making. It's going to be a monocoque. It's going to be made completely of steel. It's going to be our front transverse. And then we're going to have probably a double wishbone. And then some sort of semi-trailing arm in the rear. Then the engine is going to be... So it's going to be really hard to compare the engines, but we are going to go with what was probably in there originally, which was an inline 1.6 liter. And then we're going to try to keep the material cost down whilst getting this thing up to 10 seconds. Then it's going to be a direct acting overhead cam, most likely aluminium. No variable valve lift at this time. Nothing special there, just some car stuff. The cam profile in this little Honda will be a little bit higher. No variable valve timing probably. No turbocharger yet. Injection is going to be a multi-point. It's going to be a single and a standard intake, because this was a very basic car. Then I'm also going to assume that this ran on regular fuel. And that's probably where this would have sat. So we're just going to listen to our nice little shitbox of an engine. Yeah, not particularly great, but it sounds kind of funky. Now, there is no T-top version, but there is a convertible version here, so that's what we're going to go with. It looks like an Audi at the back. That's kind of cool, like an A3 or something. So this is... Oh, wait, actually, hold on. It has to be pink. So before we move on to that, yes, we are going to go with a very vibrant flash pink. Really just a hot pink. Actually, you know what? It looked very faded as well. So we're probably going to go with something a lot like that, and there's going to be no shine to it, because that's just kind of how it was. Maybe put in a little bit of a medium flack. Yeah, that really makes it pop and make it look like the actual one. Then we're going to go front wheel drive. It's going to be a manual. It's going to be a 5-speed as well, because I think that's what it ran. It probably won't go 219 kilometers an hour. We're going to go with an open differential for now. Radials, it's going to be a hard compound. We're going to leave them quite narrow, actually. Then leave it on steel, leave it on 14s. We're going to go vented disc in the front, one piston most likely. And then this probably has drums in the rear. No undercladding, I don't think. Probably that's the seating arrangement. It's going to be a basic interior, or maybe a standard, and then a basic cassette. It's going to have hydraulic steering. It's going to have ABS and basic 90s safety. Then a standard spring, gas monotube, and passive. There we go. We have our baseline car. Let's first see how fast this car goes. Wow, this car goes really fast. That's surprising for a top speed. Now, it's 0 to 100 is 10 seconds. Let's see what its quarter mile time is. Its quarter mile time is 17 seconds. So, we have a material cost of $3,200. So, we are going to try to get this car now to go in the 10s, maybe even quicker if we could push it that far, and just see how much money it costs us compared to those guys over at DIYmike. Now, the very first thing they did was stick in a 2-liter engine, so we're going to up this size to a 2-liter. Then I think they probably ran a really high-octane fuel in this, and we're going to make it run a lot richer. We're going to leave the compression where it is for now, and we're going to attach a really big turbo, and it's going to be a journal because that was very cheap. We're going to up the kilowatts, and this is going to be set for race. That is a lot of knocking. Then I think they also put in a performance camshaft, so we're going to up that as well. Up the, down the ignition timing. Oh boy, this thing just wants to knock like crazy. It doesn't want to not knock. This is, oh, there we go. 200 kilowatts. We just want to put on a big ass turbo, and I think they were running like a ridiculously high amount of pressure as well. So we're just going to turn that up. The AR ratio is also going to be way up as well, because I doubt that this thing would have been tuned very well. I think the turbo was just big. It was just a big turbo. Car has severe issues with wheel spin. Now, we're fine with that, bro. You can keep doing your thing. I'm gonna keep making this thing bigger. Oh, Like, I feel like they just put a big turbo on it and just called it a day. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, it also has variable valve lift and variable valve timing. This is a Honda VTEC engine. Those are the things that it has. So the variable lift is going to be really quite high. Damn, that's a nice tasty meatball. I mean, tasty bit of power. Haha. So still with the excessive wheel spin. So we're going to go with a semi-slick on the front, and the fronts are going to be massive. And I wish I could run narrower tires, except the game doesn't quite understand what it is I'm trying to do. I don't want the back end to come out at all. But for now, we're going to go with a lot more. Oh, actually, hold on. We can also go with a bigger tire, because if you saw that video, this thing has ginormous front tires. So it looks like they went up to at least a 16 there. So we're gonna stick on some 16s and then make it really fat. Except we can't make it very wide. Why can't we make the front tires wide? What's happening? Oh, wait, hold on. Yep. So I think, yeah, here they've just got it sitting outside of the fender, though we can't really do that. What we can, however, do is just widen out those front flares and then make those front tires a lot bigger. Oh boy, that's a lot of oversteer. Now we can play with the transmission a little bit. The question is are we going to improve our quarter-mile time by increasing the gear ratio? Do we want to maybe just have it sit at 226 kilometers an hour when it reaches and peaks out? Currently, we're down to a 15-second quarter mile. So we're also going to soften up the rear suspension, so hopefully we can induce more understeer and have less oversteer, which I really would like to have the front stiffer, the rear stiffer, so then we could have the front make more contact. Unfortunately, it's just not really that great of an option right now, but now we can fit on bigger front tires. There we go. Oh, we can make those front tires much bigger now. There you go. Look at that bad boy. Whoo-hoo-hoo. Okay. I don't know if they put in a 6th gear, but I think we're gonna put in a 6th gear. I think we kind of need it. So we're down to 13 point... Okay, so just under 14 seconds now. Also, I just realized we're actually gonna up this to like a modern time. We're gonna make this 2 years ago when they tried to do it as well. So our drive line is now pretty good, 6.1 to 100, which we should be doing better than that. Come on. We're down to... Wait, we're up to 14.10. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Well, the other things that we're going to do is we're going to go to the aerodynamics. They did up the quality a little bit, though we're not going to go outrageous on that. We're going to stop the airflow. We're going to down the cooling just a little bit. The interior is going to be stripped back out to a basic because they did have just the one seat in there. So yes, it weighs less to have one full seat. For the driving aids, we're probably going to take away the hydraulic power steering. What happens now? The car's weight and lack of power steering? That's fine. For the safety, we're going to go with none. We're going to, oh, you know what? Basic safeties. Because you do need a roll cage that'll make it a little bit heavier, and the seat belts, the 5-point harnesses. Our top speed is about 238. Our time now is down to 13.89 seconds. We need a buttload more power, but they did it on such a cheap budget. I wonder if there's something I can do here for the turbo whilst leaving a journal bearing, because that was a big thing. They talked about getting the cheapest turbo possible. Okay, we're at about 250 kilowatts, which seems to be, for some reason, the most amount of power I can get out of this engine. What am I doing? I feel as if I can get a lot more power out of this engine. Is it because I'm limiting myself with a few different things? I also think that this was an aluminium engine block that they switched into it. So we've got some forged here, we've got a fairly aggressive cam profile and stuff. Our turbo is still a ball bearing. What happens if we just select, yeah, we're not getting a whole lot from going over to ball bearing anyway. The quality I should probably even drop, but we're not going to do that. It's going to stay a single. We are going to go to a race intake because I'm pretty sure they just have basically a mesh on the front of the turbo. Oh wait, no, they go in the intake manifold, not the filter itself. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they went to a performance intake manifold as well. The exhaust is still going to be a short cast. It is ginormous, a 5.8 inch, even though it doesn't really need to be. We're going to listen to this. And yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more than that. But when we have a look at our quarter mile times, we're only down to 13.27. And I would really like us to be even quicker than that. What we can do now is start looking elsewhere. So we're going to put on a little bit of aero. Now, no using lips, because lips are actually cancer and they really do hurt us. So we're just going to stick these on there. It was 13 point something seconds. We're going to have a look over now. 13.27. Let's look at the aerodynamics and up that a lot, and then down the aerodynamics on the rear. It does say we're getting a lot of oversteer, but now we're down to 13.27. Let's put a bit of a wing on this thing. So here we have the generic drag wing, and what does it reckon we do now? We're gonna bring this in, we're gonna down the amount of downforce so then we're not having to worry about too much drag. 13.27. So adding it to the rear hasn't really changed much at all. It hasn't slowed us down, it hasn't sped us up, which is not what I was expecting. We're not improving our quarter mile in any way by adding more downforce, apparently. So let's go ahead. I'm not sure if they did a fully clad, but we're going to do a fully clad ourselves. What does it reckon? Still sitting at about 13.27. This is really starting to hurt. Our costs have gone up to about $5,000. Okay, yikes. But for some reason, we're just not really hitting anything. So 13.27, let's increase our top speed. Okay, so we increased our top speed and it really hurt us. So we're gonna drop that back down. This is not really what I want. What if we drop this all the way down? 13.39, 13.27, at about 218 is our top speed. What about 233? Yeah, 13.27 is where it really just wants to sit. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get more power out of this thing. We can make our wheels wider though, apparently. Oh, but we shouldn't because it induces like massive amounts of oversteer. Oh, come on. Does it want more front downforce? We can try to accommodate this by looking for some things to add in. Now adding more downforce has only slowed us down. What if we now increase our top speed? Does that change anything? Nope. Oh, yeah, doy. It was a dual levered cam and it was 5 valve. Though we've gotten rid of our variable valve lift by doing so. Whatever. It's fine. Our crankshaft is not handling the pressure. So we're just going to go to a regular old forged. We're going to up this RPM a bit. And we're going to keep fiddling with this now. Now that I went back here, I realized eventually what it is that I did wrong. I did feel as if there was a lot of power missing. There's all that hidden power. Just drawing it out now. Much better. Okay, 339 kilos, just shy of 340 kilowatts, which is pretty impressive. Our wheel spin is up to 22%. We are going to try to do something about this rear wheel. Oh, hold on. Yeah, also got to slam it to the ground. Got to get that extra little bit of aerodynamics there. Now, we are having problems with our tire sizes. We can make them a little bit bigger, though our wheel spin is still quite high. I don't know how this is so different from real life. So even in BeamNG, when you try to put skinny tires on the rear of a front-wheel drive drag car, it starts to become incredibly oversteery, which is weird. But then you see this has got like big, fat, chunky front tires, and then rather quite small rear tires. Like, that's quite small in comparison. Oh, wait, hold on. What have I forgotten? I've forgotten something. Oh, yes. Locker of some kind. I'm gonna go with a geared. I wonder if a manual locker helps. No, a geared LSD. And what are we getting now? 12.66, and our price is blowing up. But then again, we are working from new, we're not working from like scrap metal prices. This is hard to get this down to 10 seconds. Jesus Christ. I get the feeling, however, I should be able to drop this down by just feathering the clutch a lot more than what it does in the game. We're gonna give this a bit of a try. So first of all, we're going to make this thing look pretty. Somehow. Here we go. The bot's job, that is their thing. So it's got the mirror delete, as you can see. Also, the holes in the back bumper are just the thing that a lot of drag people do, and a lot of track and race people do. I wish I knew how to make the rear tires smaller without it losing control absolutely completely. We've got the little vents that are kind of hanging on the front fenders, except the fact that these fenders are weirdly flared, so you can't really do that. Got the hole cut out for the exhaust. They need to be a bit further back than the real car because the exhaust doesn't line up and attach if you do it any other way. Yeah, we've got a fairly, like, I haven't copied the car exactly. We've just kind of gone with a car that's similar, but yeah. This has been, even though it's quite jank, one of my more favorite projects to work on. And I'm really quite excited to see whether I can actually use BeamNG and my clutch pedal box to actually make this thing go at a very decent speed. I don't know. We shall see. Let's jump over there right about now. This car is so jank. Okay, here we go. Gonna start this up. Oh, it's in arcade. Frick. Hold on. Okay, so far, car's not so bad. Oops, something broke off. What was that? Is that a bit of the downforce? I hope not. Oh, dear. This will be the first proper try. Okay, I wasn't quite sure if I got that quite right, and I went complete silent, full try hard. I get the feeling that the downforce is becoming so much that it's breaking off. What happens if I just dump the clutch? Let's try that. Okay, so we're gonna be here in first gear. It takes off all on its own. Yeah, alright, so that was still getting a little too much wheel spin. Need to somehow increase traction. And yep, the aerodynamics becomes so strong that it rips itself from the body. And we're only getting about 13s. Nothing like the 1266 that it said it would get. Okay, there we go. We got a much better start that time. We got it up to about 50 kilometers an hour, and then just ascertained that it probably gained all of its traction, and we're still at about 13.1. I think we can try a little bit harder, do a little bit better, and maybe get this down to a mid-12 if we're lucky. Other than that, I think we're kind of shut out of luck. Oh, this is really hard to do. Okay, so we're gonna be here. We're gonna be in first gear. Full pressure, riding that clutch a little bit. Okay, I think that is riding a little too long. Oh, sorry, not too long, a little too much. It's really hard to tell when we're actually losing traction. Maybe I should go into first person for this. Maybe that'll help me. Yeah, that was abysmal. Yeah, that was way too early of a shift. So that was wrong. And we're probably gonna get about a 13 for that one, unfortunately. Oh, it's getting really wayward up here. Oh! Yeah, we have to avoid wheel spin a little bit more. Okay, that was a good timed gear shift. I mean, as much as I can do. The gears really do not want to shift. I get the feeling that they might be running an automatic in comparison to this. Okay, we're down to low 13s now. I do get the feeling, though, that this is primarily just down to skill. So let's try a little bit of retry, but we're not going to jump straight into this. We're going to do a little bit of tuning of the car. So with my arm reached over to where my computer is, I'm gonna go to tuning. We're gonna up the, lower the front tire pressure maybe? And then the wheel alignment, the rear toe is gonna be inwards a little bit. Fuel volume can be way down as well. That's not gonna require much at all. The force feedback strength modifier, I don't know what this is exactly. Let's up that a lot. Let's up that like a heck of a lot. And let's apply. Let's give this a try now. Oops, okay, that wasn't meant to happen. Let's try that again, shall we? So in first gear, it will hold us there. Okay, yeah, that was way too early of a gear shift. Hopefully, though, we're getting a lot more traction on the front. I am finding this to be a little bit more wayward in the mid-speeds. The top speeds, though, we are fine. We're at a 13.4, but that was pretty abysmal. I did hit the rev limiter once, and also the takeoff was pretty bad. So let's try a little bit more. I get the feeling that there's... Oh, okay, that was an atrocious... Went a little over the a thing there, so we can probably fix that later. We're just still trying to get used to drag racing. We're at 13.3. This is not great. What happens if I don't floor it? What happens if I try to maintain that traction? Okay, that was held for a little bit too long, though we did gain that traction that we so desperately needed. So that was a good thing. We're at about 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11, 12, damn it, 13.3. Bugger. Well, this is dog bollocks. This is really hard. Anybody would think that drag racing isn't just something you could jump in and do. Hi! I'm so funny. Okay, so we're going to feather that throttle. Ooh, we did fluff it a little bit there. Okay, that was a little too soon on the gear change, unfortunately. Oh, I get the feeling, yeah, this would probably do much better with a sequential or an automatic. And we're at 13.2s. I don't think switching the thing over to a lower tire pressure has helped. Maybe we'll try a different one next time. Oh, that was a much better, I think. A little bit hard to tell, but there's a possibility that helped us with our acceleration here. Wait, did it just double shift me? Come on! Okay, so that's the problem with my setup, is for some reason this wheel is a little bit dicky and sometimes it'll double shift you. Okay, so we're gonna ease this on. That was good. Yes. Oh, okay, we got a little bit of a kick out to the side. I think this would do much better with a locker than what it has got currently. And we've done a 13. Come on. Let's try changing the pressure the other ways. So we're gonna go with the tire pressure and we're gonna raise it up a lot. Let's see if that helps us. I also get the feeling that having a higher rear tire pressure would help us too. So our toe angle, maybe if we reduce that, that'll create a little less drag on the car. Let's give it a go. Okay, well, you've done that to me. We've got this one in the bag, right? Okay, I think that was good. That was a good first to second gear. We're doing quite well. We're holding it in pressure. In boost, sorry. Boost pressure, whatever you want to call it. We're in 5th gear, and we've done a 13. God damn it. Rear tire pressure all the way up. Front tire pressure down. Strength multiplier, that seems fine. Front toe adjustment, I think we will toe inwards a little bit because we don't want it to change the direction quite so much. I think having an overinflated tire means that there'll be less contact patch. And I think with our front tires, we're gonna just drop that PSI all the way down. We're gonna run flat, floppy tires on the front and see how that works for us. Okay. Okay, it's done that again. God damn it. Okay, 2, 1, go. Okay, I think we're a little late on the gear shift, but I think we're still quite in the middle of the power band. So we're pretty good. We're getting up here. Yeah, there goes the arrow that breaks off. And we're at 13 for... God damn. Okay, so having flat front tires does not actually give us more traction. Actually, you know what? I haven't done a full flat-out floor since I've deflated the tires. So let's see if that changes anything. Okay, so that was quite quick to get up to second gear. So maybe it did help us? I don't know. Little bit tricky. Okay, coming up here, 13. Okay, we're gonna try that again, but with a quicker gear shift. So we're getting up there. Okay, yeah, that was way too early. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, let's maybe try to oh, I forgot to change gears. Let's try to just get used to judging where we need to change, as opposed to a speed thing. Okay, so before that middle part tapers off. So, right around here, we're gonna change not at the taper, but at about here. That's where we're gonna change gears. Okay, let's do this. 2, 1, accelerate, away we go, change gears. Yes, good. That's put us almost exactly where we wanted to be in the power range. Maybe I'll have a look at the power graphs and see if I can fiddle with the power to get it to sit in the middle of the gear shifting a little bit more. Our power band really starts to kick in a lot by the looks of it at about 6,000 RPM. So when our gear shifts happen, it's about here. So we're just starting to come on to like the big end of boost. Okay, well, that did bog, but it also did get us onto the power quite early enough. Oh, we're getting a little bit wayward, that's fine. We're still in the power band, and we're 13.6. God damn it. I was looking too much at the power graph this time. Alright, let's just try flooring it this time. Okay, good. That does keep us in the power band when we do that. We're gonna change just before 8,000 RPM. That'll get us just at the rising part of the power band, and we're at 13.4. I don't think there's anything we can do. I think we're just basically bung up. There's nothing. This car has nothing left to give. Let's go full try-hard mode and be silent during this next one. Oh yes, we have done it. I didn't cheat. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean jumping the tree? What? I think we are done. DIYmike? DIYmike is better than me. So, well, we're kinda shut out of luck. Bugger. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. No, okay, we're gonna go off. We're gonna do a little bit of some sort of race. We can't leave it on a complete no-goer. So we're gonna change configuration. We're gonna do a little bit of just a gymkhana. Is there gymkhana here? Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a proper gymkhana here before. I've only ever just fiddled around. Let's give this a bit of a fun try. And we've got it set to arcade apparently, so we don't have to worry about changing gears. We're gonna see how bad this, like, entirely drag-tuned car does around a bit of a racetrack. It is very soft and wayward. Oh, damn it. Okay, well, we do have problems with getting traction down to the front. Oh boy, because it is a really stiff front suspension. I've also got no power steering, and I've got the force feedback turned way up. Oh shit! Ah. So for my first ever time around with this car, it's actually pretty good still. Like, you'd expect this car to be really hard to control, especially with no power steering and the force feedback stupidly turned up for some reason. If, say, like, you're an idiot and wanted to do that, and I don't know why you would do that, but if that's something you've done, this car would be really hard to control. Oh my god, this thing is really heavy. Oh, okay, didn't hit that wall. I've never hit anything in this car because this is my first time out on the racetrack, and I am just really that good. Like, come on, honestly, guys. Do you see skill this often come around? I have to lift to get the steering to turn. Otherwise, it just keeps telling me what it does and doesn't want to do. Let's try to get through your power steering, please. Oh, and across the line. Oopsie daisies. Ooh, let's hope that the DIYmike guys don't do that one. Yowza. I don't know if this is a good time or not. I've never actually done this racetrack. But thank you guys for coming around. Oh my god. This car is a nightmare to handle. And full respect to the guys from DIYmike. Those guys are good. They have good content. If you want to watch some, like, really fun stuff, go check out their Pink Widow series. Watch it from the beginning. It's actually quite fun. I really do enjoy that stuff. But for now, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.